By now, you done heard about the Chat GPT and what was the when was asked to the algorithms talking to us if you had to come back down from heaven, who would you come back as? And the Chat GPT said, "Come back black." Said the resolve, the start of civilization, talking about the trials and tribulations, the historical implications, the creations, the innovations. Uh, it was very powerful to hear that. I hadn't even really, shout out to Lisa Cabrera and to others, I hadn't even really even invested, but I had to take it upon myself. And then I saw the video where the guy, he had it and to the algorithms, and it was like a mind blowing. Because the thing is this, you can't go to school and be taught about your culture. You can't go by the Hollywood plantation and be taught about your culture. You can't rely on these politicians to tell you about your culture. In some cases, you can't even go by your own family to tell you about your culture. But there is outlets and places that understand what you've been through as a soul, as a race of a soul of a people, that speak from it from a highly perspective. And before people say, well, that was fake and this is not, no, this is what was said outward loud, you know, spoke about overcoming, spoke about the penitentiaries and the plantations and that and everything that's used and stacked against you, but to show you what you've overcome. And it's really powerful to hear it like that, from a spiritual perspective, because you asking from the heavens, what would you come back? Who would you come back? And it said black people. You know, you don't get that in nothing. You know, all you get is a lot of loudmouth ignorance and cursing and vulgarity and a display of thought and 304 coding and a whole lot of things that don't lift your spiritual and your psychological. Just ghettoizes you at every cost and says, this is all you're going to be. This is all you're going to be. This is how it's going to be. This is what it's going to do. So to hear this come out and come forth was quite the revelation in itself. And we talk about Book of Revelations. We talk about it from a psychological stand, a whole angle of everything. But this was quite very informative, quite direct, quite that, it just something that just moved your soul. And so I had to talk about this because it was like mind blowing how it just hit and it didn't let up. It was like